All right, I've just arrived back in camp. Another day, another shoebox. Um, Certainly not as nice as the motel I had in Melbourne, nor is it as nice as my nice warm bed back in home, at home. But I'm here, and back for another 3 weeks. Anyway, so I started reading a book while I was at home. It's something about the 12-week year. So it's pretty much self-explanatory. Instead of basing your life on annualized thinking, like this year I want to achieve all this, you set up your life so you have basically every quarter, every three months, every 12 weeks is a year. So like the introductory chapters, they tell about, right, at the end of at the end of the financial year and at the end of the year, every shop in the world has end of year sale and a financial year sale. So you have two of these great big rushes where all this work gets done in the matter of 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever. But then you have all this time in between where goals get forgotten. Like you have all this false sense of time. You got all the time in the world to do all this. So the idea is to set yourself more consistent deadlines so you constantly have this sense of urgency to work towards something. That doesn't mean you have to try and do a year's worth of work in that 12 weeks. It means set your goals and don't give yourself all year to achieve them. Give yourself 3 months. Anyway, so I've read like one chapter and I pretty much get the gist of the whole book. I'll probably continue reading it once I get home because I left it at home, which I'm pretty bad for doing. I tell myself, yeah, I'm gonna read that book in the first couple of days when I get out to work, and then I get out to work and oh shit, I've left it. Anyway, so I set a few reasonable goals. Just on the plane ride over here, it's a 5.5 hour plane ride, so I had a bit of thinking to do. I set some financial goals, which I won't get into. Basically, involved in getting a decent deposit for an investment property, setting up a bit of an emergency fund, but I won't get into the ins and outs of that. What I will state publicly is yesterday I set up my first Amazon KDP books. I don't think they're like any sort of great quality, but I'm getting used to the mechanics of doing it, of creating these journals for Amazon KDP, and I'm doing them all on a website called Canva. I'll get into that in another video, but I'm just working out the mechanics of how the Canva works, how to upload it onto the KDP system. How do I not game the system, but how do I work within the parameters of the system, and to get the greatest result. So anyway, not to stray too far into what that is, I want to get 3 books per month completed between now and the first week of December. The reason why I've chosen the first week of December is that's like 12. That's exactly 12 weeks, and plus it won't be it'll give me a bit of time between when I set these goals. When I'm to reach the crescendo with these goals, and coming into the Christmas rush where I'm not going to I don't want to be too super busy coming into Christmas because it's fucking bedlam anyway. So I want to have 12 books beyond what I've already created. I created 3 yesterday, so I want to do another 3 per month because that's supposedly the maximum you can do when you're first starting out. Anyway, the other one I have is I fancy myself a writer, but I find it very hard to find the motivation to write. But I've set up a Substack account quite some time ago, and what I'd like to commit myself to is just writing one Substack newsletter per week for the next 12 weeks. And the third one, what was the third one? I'm doing it right now. 5 videos per week for the next 12 weeks. So if you're a subscriber, you're going to have 60 videos coming to you before Christmas. So I've put it out there now. It needs to be done. And I have a 12-week deadline. So stick with me, see how I go. Today's a beautiful day to be alive. It is the 15th, isn't it? Yeah, 15th of September 2025.